Hello, this is Houston SWL. I have a new video for you. This is, you can see a Grundig radio by the badge here. I was fortunate enough, I was out of town. I got to meet up with Diesel 1001. If you ever checked out his shortwave YouTube channel, he has a number of nice radios, so I got to spend some time with him, look at his extensive collection. It's really shortwave radio heaven, and really thanks again, Nick, for letting me take a look at your radios. So I happened to come back with this one, and there's one other one that I'll be showing you as well. So this is a Grundig Transistor 860. It says solid state here. It's also known by the Grundig Mariner 860 or the TR 860. You can see it's a pretty large radio. Dimensions are, I got off the Radio Museum site, 15 inches by 9.5 inches by 4.75 inches. As you can see, it covers the AM band, shortwave from 6 all the way up to 16. So there's a lot of shortwave frequencies crammed into this one band and scale here. This says marine band, but I think we could call this shortwave 2 or another shortwave band because it starts at 1.6 to 4.5. And then at the bottom here it covers FM. So let me kind of move in a little closer. It has this battery indicator here. I guess I don't have batteries for it. I'll be running it off of the AC power cord. Looks like it has a switch for the light. If you're running off of batteries, this is a momentary switch that would power on the light and let go. The light will go off. If it's plugged in on the AC mains, the backlight stays on all the time, and it has a AFC button that you can turn on and off for FM. Let's see, and over on this side we have the main tuning dial. It's a little stiff, I think, but it's loosened up actually since I've been using it. But I think there's some like dried up grease on the tuning capacitor, so I'm gonna try to open it up and put some oil on it. Maybe I'll try to do that in the video. And down here is the volume control. And this is bass and treble, and I was watching another YouTube video, and if you pull this out, I believe you can affect the bass or treble response. I have not messed with that, so maybe we can see what that does. Let me go up to the top here. So you can see it also says Transistor 860. This is the power on-off button. Shortwave, the marine band, the other shortwave band, AM and FM. And it has a pretty, fairly long telescopic antenna that folds down into the radio. And the antenna length is 45.5 inches. And so if we go to the back of the radio, it has this panel that slides back and forth. Let me move this closer. So maybe a little hard for you to see, but this says 9 volts, so it looks like it's some type of older power connector. I don't even know what that is. To power this radio off of 9 volts. Currently I can only use batteries or the AC power cord that's tucked in the back here. It's some kind of I think DIN type plug for connecting up to some other devices. This is an earphone jack. I believe these are the antenna connections. I believe this was for FM. And here this is for shortwave, the antenna connection here, and for the ground. And if we slide this panel over, you kind of have to push it in. Flip it over. This is where the power cord is. So let me just pull that out, and then I'll plug it in, and then we can turn on the radio and see what that looks like. And there's also a handle here on the top of the radio. So just some information that I've gathered about the radio, mainly from the Radio Museum website. As I mentioned, it can be powered off of AC power or take 6 D-cell batteries. It was made in 1968. There's 12 transistors. It's a super heterodyne radio. Weighs 4.5 kilograms. I went over the other features of the radio. The buttons on the top and the connections on the back. So there's another neat thing about this radio. You can see here on the AM band there's these triangles that have CD in the center. I noted this when I made the video on my Zenith Transoceanic 3000. So these marks were put on radios from 1953 to 1963. So that can date the radio. The frequencies were at 640 and 1240 kilohertz. So yeah, from what I read, it said that those were on radios manufactured between 1953 and 63. I guess from the information on the Radio Museum site, this was made in 1968. So I'm not exactly sure why this is showing those civil defense markings as part of the federal CONORAD, or Control of Electromagnetic Radiation Program, which was a Cold War era emergency broadcast protocol designed to prevent enemy bombers from using commercial radio signals as navigation beacons. And also, I think, to notify the public of any type of national type emergency event that may be happening. So I just did a quick Google AI search about the Civil Defense CONORAD markings on this 1968 radio, and this is what it came back with, which seems to make sense. It says they were put on here primarily because it was an imported multi-market international radio using a faceplate design carried over from earlier production runs. While the FCC legally required these marks on U.S. radios from 1953 to 1963, they commonly appeared on later global receivers like your Grundig for several distinct logistical reasons. It lists leftover component inventory, global U.S. export master faceplates. One other one that I won't read, but that seems to make sense why this radio made in 1968 still has the CONORAD markings on the faceplate. So let me go ahead and power the radio on, and let's do a little spin around the band. So the radio actually has a switch on the plug. Let me move this out. It actually has a switch on the plug here that you need to flip, as well as, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see that the light actually came on the radio, and I still need to hit the on-off button for the actual radio to come on. And we're on the not sure if that light's going to cause any interference problems. I don't hear it yet. But let's go to the FM band. Start there.
You know something that I felt.
But these old Grundig, these large Grundig radios made back then have really good audio quality. I think they're known for that. The speakers are large. You got the bass treble controls. To believe this is 88.7, one of the public radio station here in Houston.
Like it's in a bubble, but everything's in
That's
there.
coming in really, really well. This is a local Christian station. Won't linger too much. So since we are in Houston near the border with Mexico, there's a number of Spanish stations on FM and AM. Oh, whoa, I don't know if you can hear the bass booming there. I'm going to pull out the bass treble switch and cut the bass down if I push it back in. I don't know if you can hear that. That's kind of cool. Pushed it back in. But you can hear the audio quality really sounds good. This is a local Indian radio station, and usually I don't get it that clear on some of the portables, but it's coming in really clear on this radio. Really clear.
The Hudson River Valley, New York. Mother Cabrini moves.
I'm not sure what station that is, around 97. So anyway, that's the FM band.
Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more.
Let's hear the bass is really booming in. So let me go to the next band. All right, here's the AM band, and it does have a internal ferrite bar antenna in it. Maybe we can take a look at that once I open up the radio. Let's see. Let's go up to the top here, up to 1600. Of course, AM is directional. I believe this is a little Spanish station.
Take it off.
So we have two Vietnamese stations on AM. I think Texas has the second largest Vietnamese population in the U.S. after California. It's coming in really clear. Spanish language station. I believe this is 1430, a local Catholic radio station in town.
Wall has given out free meals.
I believe this is 1320 AM. Not exactly sure what station this is. I believe it's another local Catholic radio station in town. 1110, if I remember.
That's the answer to the question. We can only prosecute Anthony Fauci.
1070, I believe, talk radio.
Is that by some of those?
You can hear the audio on AM FM is sounding good, and it's working well on AM and FM. There's a second Vietnamese station in town on 900. I'm not getting that in, but a Spanish station. I might need to turn the... It sounds like a station from Mexico. It's not coming in quite as strong as the local stations. Around 9 something or other. Maybe I can look that up and see what that might be. Anyway, that's AM.
When you're sleeping hot,
Working really well on AM FM. Really good sound. Right, this is the Marine band. There's not going to be much on this, and we're still in the daytime. It's like 6:55 p.m. So not exactly sure on the shortwave capability on this since it is a multi-band radio. Let's go up to the other shortwave band. See if we can even get anything at all at this time. We're up here a little above 15 megahertz. Alright, we're pulling in WWV, and this is just on the whip antenna. Scroll down, not going to be much around here.
The lesson of the Israelites teaches it.
Exactly sure what frequency that is. Right near 13 megahertz, or just a tad below if the dial indicator is accurate. But since you're cramming so many frequencies, it's really, you have to really be precise with the tuning dial on this. Another station could be Radio Marti, I would bet. So I would be using one of my portable radios with the digital frequency readout to confirm what the frequency is in the station. And it's picking up a number of stations. I assume this may be Radio Marti, but yeah, it's really precise with that tuning. You barely have to move it. I think maybe once I oil up the dial, it might make it a little less touchy. Let's see if we can get Radio Nacional de Amazonia, or maybe that was it. It's really, really touchy. It's only 11780, so maybe this is it, and the dial indication's just a little off. So I'd like to see how this works with an external antenna attached to it. And you barely have to move this dial, so it makes it a little twitchy to lock in on a frequency. It'd be nice if you had multiple shortwave bands to spread out the frequency range, or a fine tuning knob. Go down, see if we can get
7087. That's 131 Colossal
It's the WWCR, Lebanon, Tennessee, if I got the call letters right. Oh, sorry, WTWW. See, I pulled out the bass treble knob to cut down on some of the bass there. Well, that's a strong. See if we can get WWV. Not hearing that. We got it up around 15, but not here at 10. This is it. Not coming in well, though. But that's it.
You are listening to the Overcomer Ministry radio broadcast from Walterboro, South Carolina.
Well, that's booming in. But you have to be really precise with this tuning dial. Really, really precise.
Dr. Adrian Peterson, and in Los Angeles, I'm Ray Robinson.
I believe this is probably WRMI. Shortwave radio program. Cool.
This is edition NWS 905, released on Sunday, June 28, 2026. On the program today, Women Radio Pioneers, Part 2, Mary Daly.
Cool. Yeah, if you haven't heard this program, give it a listen.
Great interest to DXers. And our South African DX report from Andre House. 3 weeks ago, Ray Robinson.
All right, let's see what else we can pick up. One, man, I can't really tune that in. This is another, maybe another.
I'm telling you, friend.
Another religious broadcaster. A lot of noise. Let's see if that's. You see my light. It's causing a little noise problem there for us. It started getting louder as we were going down in the frequency. Maybe Radio Marti, maybe my guess, or it could be a Spanish broadcast. WRMI has a frequency around here. But maybe it could be something else too. I'm not gonna. Nope. Not exactly sure what that is. Like a little below 7.5. WRMI maybe? Like some ham operators. This radio doesn't have a single sideband capability. But they're coming in pretty strongly. You see the band stops just a little bit below 6 megahertz. I wish it would go down a little bit further to get like 5.7, 5.8. This could be from Radio Educación, maybe 6185, but normally comes in pretty well here, and still remember we're just on the whip antenna. Let me go back up since I turned the light off. Let's see if that makes any difference at all. See if we can get WWV in any better. This is
The partakers of Christ's suffering.
It's booming in. Seems a little bit better. Still not very strong. All right, cool. So again, it's still light outside, as you can see. So yeah, there we go. So as it gets darker and darker, I'm assuming we can pull in more signals with this. And we're just on the whip. So I'm liking this radio. Thanks a lot again, Nick, for your generosity and letting me procure it. All right, so let me see if I can open it up and then we can take a little look inside the radio. So let me show you the bottom of the radio really quickly. This is where the 6 D-cell batteries go, and it's just kind of neat. This one just slides over and just comes off like that. So these are the notches that this slides into, and this holds the 6 batteries right there. And I believe to open up the radio, you need to start with these screws we can see here on the bottom, these three right here. I think once we get that off, we can slide off part of the case, and then there's some other screws that need to be taken off as well. So here we go. I'm taking off these screws. It looks like the screws also have a whatever. It's not really a washer, but it's a. I guess it's just kind of indented washer type that the head of the screw fits down in and screws in here. So that's the first one. Second one here. Set those aside. And from my experience, I dropped that one. There it is. These radios seem very well made and seem pretty well designed as far as being able to work on it. I did watch a video. Great thing about YouTube, somebody had worked on a similar radio. I guess from what I found, the same case design seems to be used by some of the Grundig, I think it was this Grundig Satellite Boy 180, one of the Grundig 180 models, exact same, looks like case. The dials on the front look the same. They probably had different, frequencies that they may cover, but it's like Grundig ended up reusing a similar design. So let me see if I can get this case off, and I'll show you. All right, here we go with the case. So I took all those three screws off on the bottom, and looks like this back plate with this front part of the front cover that's covering the switches with the transistor 860 label just slides up. So I won't bore you with trying to get this off. Let me pause it. All right, it just pretty much just kind of swung off. So I'll just drop this down and pull it through the power cord, or I should say pull the power cord through. And so looks like the AC power cord, it goes into here, and that's where the converter, I'm assuming, to I think it was 12 volts that it showed on the back. Is that right? 9 volts. I'm sorry, 9 volts. And there's some type of also like a little connector thing on the top there that uses this type of converter. From what I read, so there's the switches for the AFC, automatic frequency control, and for the light. Looks like that's going to the back of this circuit board here. And here we have the telescopic antenna. And I believe to take this out, there's 4 screws that are gold from what the guy said on the video. One's here. One's here. I guess one's here. And I think the other one, I'll need to make sure where that one is at. These look like it's securing the board on. I don't want to take that off because all of this should come out, and there's a little plastic piece here at the top that's holding the antenna in. I believe this just swings out. So let me find out where that 4th screw is, and we'll see if we can take this out so I can put some oil on the front part of that tuning capacitor there. Yeah, here's the radio that's similar to this one, the Grundig Yacht Boy 210, has a similar case, similar way to take the back off, open up the radios. So this is a gentleman working on one of these. So I found the 4th gold screw that needs to be taken off. So it's this one. So I've taken off the other 3 screws. So I'll just take that one off, and we should be able to take, so there's one here, one here, and one up here. So those are the four. And once I take this thing off holding the antenna, the whole top should come out. And actually these switches weren't scratchy at all, so I may just spray those anyway. But those were in good shape. I'm not sure if Nick had done those and why they're working so well, but let me take that last screw off here on the side and we'll see if we can take the whole assembly out. Now you can see the whole inner assembly is loose. So I think I just have to take off this part here and slide it out. So I'm trying to be gentle just in case. I think the whole thing should come out, but let me pause the video and come back. Right, I had to pull the knobs off the front, so this is just sliding out as a whole assembly. And I may need to finagle it over this edge here, but something's binding. I think that's this part in the case where the leather is kind of riding up here. There we go. I think that cleared it. So that's it. Whole unit comes out. And still got the speaker connected, so I'm not gonna mess with unsoldering that. But here's the inside and the screen, the glass or plastic, whatever, that looks in pretty good shape. The inside of the radio looks really pretty clean. I may just wipe that down, but man, that's not bad at all. Here's the ferrite antenna, as you can see here. Fairly long, not running the entire length of the radio. And here's the, you can see in there, I got a little reflection with the light though. To get into where the tuning capacitor is, there's a tuning cord and all that. You can see that better. So here's the main tuning dial cord, and then the bass treble and the other control that was down there. So let me figure out the best access to put some oil on that tuning capacitor, and I'll be right back. Alright, here's the on-off button, and then the buttons for, I forgot the order, but the 4 push buttons, which are working well. I think I'm just going to spray them with some deoxit. I'm going to use just a little bit here. We'll just cycle these. A number of times. Like I said, they didn't seem to be working poorly at all. That should clear any oxidation and anything that may be down there. Alright, so let's see how I can access this tuning capacitor. It's not really accessible from the front. So probably a good thing that I pulled this out. Let's see here, there's the entire length of the, I'm stretching out the connection from the speaker. I don't want to mess with that. So yeah, I think I'm going to have to access that from the top here, but the tuning capacitor is right here. It turns, and so there should be the shaft with some sliding points, and I think I can reach down in there and get it oiled up. So let me pause this video. So I'm going to try to get in there where the light is showing behind the dial cord there, and then see if I can get inside here on some of the get the light in there. It's kind of hard to see. But on some of those moving parts of the tuning capacitor, you want to avoid getting anything on between the fins, because that's how it moves and changes the capacitance to pull into different frequencies. So I'm not going to bore you with that, so let me pause the video again and try to do that. But here's what I'm going to try to use, this Deoxit X10S Precision Instrument Oil. Alright, I think I got the main parts of that, so I'm just going to slide this back in. Make sure this goes in for the antenna. So that's pretty slick design. Don't have to take a whole lot of stuff out. I didn't bother to clean the inside of the case. That looked in really clean condition. Slide this back in here and then go and put the well, I guess I can put the screws back here on the back. So this may take a little well, these may not be too bad, but for the ones on the side, it may take a little gymnastics to keep it from falling out until I put them back in. But really pretty slick, easy design to take this out and work on it. I guess if I did have to get better access to that tuning capacitor, I would have to take some more stuff off, but I think I was able to access it with that long tip that was on the instrument oil tube. So there's two more screws. I guess one's on the side. I won't bore you with that. I'm going to have to find it and angle this in there, so then let me pause the video. Alright, I got the 4 gold screws back in. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's pretty neat that they had the forethought to make those screws a different color to show you what's needed to take the board out, because otherwise you'd have to be maybe thinking about it. So the last thing to do is to put the knobs on the front, and these just push on. You know, there's a flat end and a round end, so just put the flat end on the flat end here. It may take a little to push it back in there, but not too bad. Tuning dial, I'll need to rotate that a bit, but yeah, it's definitely a lot smoother, not as tight as it was before. And it probably will loosen up the more I use it. And these are the same way. I have a flat side and a round side, so put the flat side on and push it in. These actually were a little hard to get off. I had to use some little tool. Didn't really quite seem to be on all the way, but same thing with this one. Flat end. And remember, this is the switch that you can pull out. So I won't bore you with putting, well, I think those are in pretty well. Looks like I guess that's how they were. The last thing to do is to slide the so this is the back panel. So let me slide the power cord through here. And put this back over. So I guess it's always a little learning experience doing it the first time. So got to get it over everything, over the switches. So I may have to. I won't bore you with that. I got this back on. As you can see, you just need to put the 3 screws back on the bottom. All right, I think mission accomplished. The tuning dial is turning a lot smoother. I couldn't tune it this easily before, so hopefully it'll keep loosening up even more.
July 1st. Get ready for Lisa Noel Smith.
So this is 90.9 KTSU. TSU is a university station here. But I don't know if you can really hear the audio.
And back by popular demand, Jonathan McReynolds.
If you can hear the bass, I'm going to pull this out to reduce it.
Like never before. Each week features a fun
Back in.
surprise giveaways and an atmosphere full of faith, family, and soul-stirring praise. Doors open at 6 p.m. Concert begins at 7 p.m. sharp at Fallbrook Church, North Campus.
Or treble.
12512 Walters Road in Houston.
We're low end.
Register for your free tickets now at fallbrookchurch.org or ktsuradio.com. That's Christmas in July. A gospel experience you'll never forget.
Thought that was just kind of a neat feature. So that's it, the Grundig Transistor 860 or the Mariner 860 solid state 12 transistor radio. I'll be doing some other comparisons with this, as well as maybe the Zenith Transoceanic. So stay tuned for that. We'll just sign off with the commercial ad for the KTSU radio station here in Houston, Texas. So they broadcast a variety of music on Sundays. It's the gospel. They have, I think, the only Houston station that broadcasts jazz. They play a lot of jazz, so this is real cool.
Our entire community. The choice.
90.9.
90.9
KTSU Houston. All right, we'll sign off with that. My battery's getting low on the phone anyway, so I hope you enjoyed the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching, and aloha.